and gentlemen, to a brand new episode of WCW Nitro. As we are now on the road to the beach of the Bash, the Bash of the Beach. We have some two exciting undercard matches, along with our final four qualifying matches for our big world title tournament. And guys, need a refresher of who has qualified so far for the world title tournament. It is as follows. Scott Hall is qualified, Steven Regal is qualified, Hollywood Hogan has qualified, and Buff Bagwell has qualified. Who will be the other four who will be joining them? Also today we have Bill Goldberg taking on Aki Man, the Outsiders, Nash and Hall taking on Eddie Guerrero and Chris Jericho. And for our tournament qualifiers, we got Saturn versus Rick Steiner. Masahiro Chono, after a hell of a performance he had at Great American Bash, he's going to try to put on another barn burner against Chris Benoit. The Giant will be taking on Steiner. And in our main event, Finlay will be taking on Bret, the Hitman Hart. And I am not alone in this. With me today are...
Hello everybody, it's me, Zach George. How y'all doing? Owner of the Four Diamonds Cattle Company, the official state sponsor of WCW. I'm here with my best friend, Voodoo, and his best friend, who's about to introduce himself now.
Hey everyone, my name is Ian Andrews. I'm brand new here, I literally just showed up.
Yeah, we saw him walking in the back and we were like, hey, you're hired, get in here.
Yep, well, totally how it happened, 100% confirmed.
Yeah, because we literally saw Chinese right across the street. He was about to be like, oh, hey, want a job?
I just said, sure, what's going on?
Need somebody to help rush the competition.
For some reason, they popped me right behind this table and said, you know what you're doing? I replied, no. It's like, well, too bad.
Here's the sheet. Here we go. All right, so let's not waste any time. But also with this, Voodoo, where are you?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Monday Nitro. Tonight's card looks pretty exciting. Be there.
All right, that's Voodoo, a very mysterious figure here in the WCW commentary team.
Oh no, I'm quite transparent. I just call it down the middle and tell it like it is.
All right, well, we're going to be starting out pretty interesting here as the Goldberg.
If you're transparent, I'm very defiling. Oh wait, I am.
And he will be taking on a very mysterious figure in the WWF, and that is the AKI Man, Aki Man.
He wears a very distinctive jumpsuit, to say the least.
Oh yeah. And here we go.
Here we have Goldberg.
Yeah, here comes Goldberg. Goldberg, who has been having a very rough time in this new era of WCW.
He's had various ups and downs, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's like things have spiraled ever since he lost the Tenzon. I don't think he's ever gonna live that down.
Well,
It depends on what level, on what type of Tenzon it was. Is it like is it like current old man Tenzon or like his prime Tenzon?
Prime Tenzon.
Not so bad then.
Dude, we're talking about Tenzon in 1998, okay?
and here comes the mysterious AKI Man. I do not know anything about this fighter's arsenal, but I can assure you, Goldberg's going to have to crush him before we can find out.
He is very distinctive of spelling his name in poses.
And indeed, those distinctive poses are very distinctive.
I swear,
Northern
just
Lights reflex.
Aki Man, the most recent Power Rangers episode.
Yeah, but later tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a big qualifiers. You know, there has never been a tournament like this in WCW.
That's because Ted Turner never had the common sense to book a tournament. Or they did,
or if they did, there was a lot of, WCW.
It didn't go well.
Oh,
pump handle slam
A
by
slam.
Goldberg.
I am so worried about the
Nothing punches.
out there. We promise we mean no harm or no foul.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any thoughts, if you want to talk about what's going on today's show, make sure to dial the WCW hotline. That's 1-900-99-9900. That is 1-900-99-9900. Kids, make sure you get your parents' permission before you call.
I'm tired of having.
And don't say it.
Well, thankfully, Ric Flair is not on the card tonight, so
I think Ric
be
Flair
a lot
is,
less
I
fight.
think Ric Flair is not in a great mood. I think he's drowning his sorrows in rum. I don't think Ric Flair is going to live down the fact that he got steamrolled by Steven Regal.
Well, in Ric Flair's case,
It's on the top rope.
drinking the rum. Not just for his loss to Regal, but for all those crazy callers that keep coming in.
Steven Regal washed him in under 3 minutes.
Yup.
He's not going to live that. He's not going to live that down.
Nice on that.
Ben's
Scott
in the
Norton,
corner.
our WCW World Heavyweight Champion. Scott Norton is going to be big in anticipation. to see who is going to face him right here.
Aki Man trying to get a combo off, but Goldberg, it looks like Goldberg was blocking everything until that last hit.
Goldberg has his defenses up.
AKI Man has impeccable striking, yes.
It seems like this Aki Man is quite the martial artist.
The martial arts.
Stiff European uppercut. Side arm bar by Goldberg.
Pretty crafty himself when he wants to be.
And he's clutching his arm.
I've never seen Bill just drop down into an armbar like that.
Well, Bill Goldberg has studied what they call ultimate fighting. And I believe he's putting it to use here.
Big kick to the top of the head. Aki trying to get a rolling kickoff, but nothing doing.
Grab rope, middle kick, high rope, and
Big shot to the back of the head.
Yeah, man, might be reeling here. Goldberg firing up.
A big lariat by Goldberg in the back.
And yet another.
Another one.
Goldberg unleashing his power on Aki Man. Now, I want you guys to remember that nobody from the EWF has lost a match to a WCW wrestler.
Let's see if Goldberg can reverse that.
Aki Man just took a bunch of full power lariats to the back.
This might be the first time an EWF wrestler loses to a WCW guy.
Goldberg is like, these EWF wrestlers are tough.
Ooh,
but they never
Aki Man's apparently bleeding now.
But they never face the likes of me.
Goldberg seems angry about something. Did he get a punch? Did he get done? Nobody knows.
This is Goldberg never angry. And he's angry because they wouldn't allow him to headbutt his locker.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, going for a slam. And down he goes.
Power slam.
Goldberg just having his way with Aki Man right now.
Crazy, man, crazy.
Hey, no.
That's why I said crazy.
Another
Long
handle.
handle drop.
Aki Man is
Another mountain
in a lot of
punch.
trouble for most of this match.
Goldberg returning back to his winning ways for sure. And Aki Man fires off some knees.
Aki Man not going to go down without a fight.
Hit the top. Arm toss from the rolling
Goldberg and his
elbow.
ultimate fighting skills sure paying off here.
Goldberg just beating this man like he owes him money.
Probably
Probably
does.
does. There's a front slam.
The mauling.
Oh, a 2 count.
AKI Man still in it.
But for how much longer? That's the real question.
Good question.
Good body kick.
Is it going to be pretty? Sure as hell is it going to be scientific?
No,
Dragon screw leg whip.
Dragon screw.
Down Achilles hold, but a rope break.
Rolling
Copo
kick
kick,
again.
excuse me, tried, failed.
AKI Man is
Oh, what a spot
masterful
kick
so
right
far.
into the apron. What's Goldberg thinking about here?
That's that Ultimate Fighting style for you, man.
Brings him in the hard
all
way.
the martial arts. Hip shot.
Goldberg just really wants him to suffer, man.
The ref should look into stopping this match.
You know we don't stop matches for blood in WCW. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's spinning back.
He's been bleeding for the past 2 minutes. You can't really tell with his mask on.
This has been more one-sided than watching an NFL team play a Division III high school team, to be honest.
Or watching any Cleveland Browns match.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Flips him over. What's he thinking here?
Looks like that leg is looking pretty vulnerable.
Copo kick tried and failed. Hooks Aki Man up. Nice fireman's carry.
Where was this impression when Goldberg was facing tense?
I don't know, but it looks like he's trying to knock
Achilles hold again. I can
Judo,
stay by the ropes.
Jiu-Jitsu, spot, karate. Goldberg knows all the martial arts thanks to his ultimate fighting background.
You know Bill Goldberg was never actually involved in MMA, right? He was a football player?
I don't know, Zach. This fighting skill speaks for itself.
Feet are in the ropes. How could the referee not call for a rope break?
The ref is not going to tell Goldberg no,
Point.
because his ass might be next. Oh wait, we have a visitor. It's Quirks. Why are you late?
Every single time this happens, I reply the same way, Atlanta traffic.
Well, be happy about one thing. We are in our opening match.
Very good. I see we have a classic here. Aki Man, what a great pickup over from the EWF.
Yes,
He's their big star.
Yep, and Goldberg is trying. Goldberg has been showing aggression that he should have shown against Tenzan.
The thing is, though, Goldberg's pretty much been toying with him. I think that's gonna come back to bite him in the ass. And Aki's gonna beat him.
Oh no, wait.
He finally pins him.
No, another kick out.
I've got a little bit more to do on that.
Head scissor.
Remember,
Nice!
Aki Man is one of the best
Nice
wrestlers in
lucha head
EWF.
And look, Goldberg's feeling
Slap.
vulnerable now.
Slap. Hooked up.
I
Scoop
like
slam.
that.
You know, Chris, I gotta wonder, since we're in the new era of WCW, Goldberg's been having a real hard time. Do you think certain guys have been able to figure out the code? They've been able to crack the blueprint?
I believe that is true.
Like if some people studying the tapes?
Rolling elbow.
Yeah, like what happened in UFC with Chuck Liddell. The longer Chuck Liddell had his career, the more people were able to expose him.
Kick caught. German.
That could be it. Oh no, not even one.
Oh, the spinner, the
I think
Akarumi.
he let him go.
The Akarumi. The most electrifying move in World Championship Wrestling.
Elbow. Body kick. Slap. Spinning power.
Backdrop.
Thank you. I almost said power slam. Rolling elbow caught.
Oh, he's got him here.
He punches again.
Well, Goldberg's fighting style works on this. Your aggression, brute force, and ultimate fighting.
So pretty much as long as you know how to fight against Inoki, you're fine.
Antonio Inoki, Japanese wrestling legend, worked for this company not too much.
German. Ah, no, not even a cover.
Hey, he did fight Regal at a Saturday night show a while back. And even invited Ric Flair for a rare opportunity, a show in North Korea.
Spinning backdrop.
From what he's been telling me, that Chono 3 did not go well.
Well, we're not going to focus on the negatives. We're WCW. We focus on our positives.
Indeed, it brought a lot of people together, and that's all that matters.
Caught. Rope break. Except for the ride reverse. Big drop kick. Sends Goldberg to the apron. Body kick, body kick, body kick. Hooks him up. Rings him out to dry on the top rope.
Goldberg looking to turn
out of the ring.
Street fight. That was quite right.
Trying to get
He
the
is
combo
looking
in.
to street fight.
Now they're taking this out here in the streets.
Out among the people.
Have a 20 count here in WCW, not a traditional 10 count.
Yeah, this is the new era of WCW.
And there's a judo throw.
Boys, you're cutting it kind of thin.
He's got to get up and get back in the ring
Get
here.
back in here, get this work.
It's so bad. I wonder if Goldberg can put this away before AKI Man gets
got him.
Arm wringer.
That arm looking really delicious. It'd be a shame if somebody took it away.
Say that again.
Oh, wow.
Went for a kick to the back of the head and missed.
How do you miss the enziguri from there?
Oh,
Big spear.
That could be it. Nope, he's going for a leg lock.
You fool! All you had
Goldberg
to
just
do
wants
was
to
drag
ruin
it.
everything about him.
Oh, no, this
Said it,
Goldberg
it
really
feels
targeting
like
that
2
leg
minutes
here.
ago that Goldberg's just toying with him now, and that could cost him the match.
Goldberg's in for the
corner.
ride. No, reverse.
What's
Follows
Goldberg
him in.
thinking about here?
Hooks him
Oh,
up.
God,
Knees. Jumping knee. Jumbo Soruto. Jumping knee.
Oh, wait a minute. What the hell?
Who's Jumbo Saruta? This
What?
WCW.
What in the
Lariat! Either that or a tackle.
Flying lariat off the top rope. Rare top rope move from Goldberg.
Bill must be getting
Pump
desperate.
handle drop.
Goldberg feeling froggy.
He's getting
Now some more
desperate. He needs to stop toying with him and just pin him.
Just
I think Goldberg's the better of it here.
if Goldberg loses this match, it will be a combination of 2 things. Aki Man's resilience and his own hubris, I'm telling you now.
Neck breaker by
Neck
Goldberg.
breaker.
There's the cover.
2 count.
Only 2.
Spinning
Backdrop
backdrop.
once more by Aki Man.
Backdrop again.
Yo, man, you gotta admit. Aki Man got some resilience.
Like I said, it makes sense if he wasn't the best wrestler in the EWF. Like, to be the best over there, you have to have resilience. You have to have endurance. You have to have moves like that.
Oh, wait a minute. Aki Man going up.
Goldberg.
Look out!
Oh!
The Aki Rudy.
You gotta love it.
Takes the back. Spinning backdrop.
Another
Aki
Aki
Rudy
Rudy.
Rudy
again.
again.
Crowd
Man
loves
on
it.
fire here.
This man, Aki Man, really starting to feel himself.
To the face.
Well, it looks like he's been brought back down to earth.
For how long though?
Something tells me
Slam
it's
jam
like,
by Aki Man.
to wonder how much does boots to the head hurt Aki and how much do they hurt Goldberg because that match
wait a minute, wait.
looks like it's back to him.
Oh, to the post.
Down he goes.
Oh, wait a minute. What's Goldberg thinking about here? Oh, no, he's just gonna talk.
He learned the
playing cat and mouse
Laparca
here.
strategy of pulling you underneath the rope, but he took a distance.
Aki Man needs to think carefully about his next move.
And Goldberg, I think, has a very high spirit now after all those taunts.
Well,
SPF.
SDF.
STM.
He's in a good position where Goldberg couldn't reach the ropes, but he still found a way to break out.
This has been quite the battle here in our opening contest.
Goldberg takes it back.
Oh,
And
yeah.
another lariat.
Clubbing lariat.
I would say that's a club more than a lariat.
And there's an Achilles hold.
And for you Pokemon fans, that's just a clubbing blow.
We're not
Yes,
sponsored by them. We can't talk about them. Why would you? Now we are in trouble with our actual sponsor, Digimon. Why would you do this, Zach? We're gonna lose the sponsor.
Two very hot trends in 1999. I look
The
forward
best
to
trends.
seeing if they'll become even bigger than ever.
Play Cybersmith. Play Survive.
Play that PlayStation game.
Please, we are very desperate.
The one where it
No,
says
not really,
if you.
Cybersmith Series 2. Oh my
He did it!
Goldberg survived.
Not just that, but Goldberg is the first WCW wrestler to beat an EWF DAW roster member here on Nitro.
And of all the moves to do it, it's a club to the back of the neck that seals the deal.
Very
Well,
anticlimactic
Well,
after
Goldberg
such
was
a
doing a
bout.
whole lot of damage to the back of the neck.
Yeah, it just feels so anticlimactic considering the battle these two had.
But we have a winner, and his name is Goldberg.
I was
This game,
expecting it to be something weak.
this game's winner is Goldberg.
All right, now
Who's
it's time for our
next?
final undercard match when we go to those qualifying matches.
That's right, we have the outsiders of Kevin Nash and Scott Hall versus Chris Jericho and Eddie Guerrero.
A
This is
true
an
David and
interesting one.
Goliath battle.
Yep, I honestly don't know how this is going to turn out.
Well, usually I would see Nash and Hall, but considering the insanities of which we have seen here in WCW, this is anyone's game.
Jericho and Guerrero are giving up a lot of size here. They're going to use their quickness, their technique, maybe even bend the rules a little to win this match.
I
Of course,
bet
the
you
two
Like
guys
Ben
coming out,
Rules is gonna be Eddie Guerrero.
I
of
bet
course,
you,
the two guys coming out to this ring now know all about bending.
I bet you like bending, don't you, Voodoo?
I will not comment.
Outsiders being a bit of a hodgepodge team, one man being NWO black and white, the other being NWO black and red.
Yeah, but that was before the split, but they're back together for this as a strange bedfellow team again.
They're like, hey, yo, we got some vanilla midgets to beat up. I'm not sure if it will play out the way that they're thinking.
Well, considering Eddie Guerrero's performance at the Great American Bash, where he was defeated by Tenzon soundly.
And we're off.
Oh, it's a tornado.
Yeah, man, they got it's gonna be quite a fight here.
Here in WCW, all of our tag matches are tornado corners.
Arm breaker by Kevin Nash.
Oh, with a beautiful backdrop on Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, head drop to the groin.
Jericho trying to keep Nash in the apron.
I know I said that
Anything more damage
Jericho
than
and
Jericho.
Guerrero needs this, but it seems like the outsiders are doing a good job of that.
Hart trying to have to do whatever it takes to take down these two giants.
Hip shot by Chris Jericho.
And as you know, of course, here in WCW, we'll even have the cruiserweights trying to take on the heavyweights. It's like they want the opportunities, right? Well, trial by fire.
Yeah, see if they can prove wrong Hogan's quote, the cruiserweights can cruiserweight.
That's right, brother.
Jericho
Jericho ran
launched
into the buckle.
into the turnbuckles. Again.
Well, we
Fans not approving of that tactic.
Well,
Who the sound guy is, he is really on point with these bell sound effects.
What sound effect? That's just the sound you make when you get hit in the nether region. Chemo clutch by Eddie Guerrero, of course taught to him by his legendary father, Gory.
Hamburger.
The struggle is real right now.
Jericho has some power behind his moves, but he's still outmatched by both outsiders.
Oh no, test of strength. This is not going to end well. Oh wait, Jericho. Jericho,
Okay, rolling out of it.
Jericho with the lucha counter.
Well, if you know anything
Another
at all
test
about
of
Chris
strength.
Jericho, you know he worked many places, many countries, coming years. Yep, where the big boys play. And just remember, speaking of where the big boys play, tune in to TBS Superstation later tonight to watch the Atlanta Braves play the New York Yankees.
They better beat the Yankees, damn it. I hate the Yankees. I hate them so much.
Everybody hates
I don't think you
I commend
understand.
the
I'm a
athletes
Twins
that play
fan.
for the Yankees.
They always lose to the Yankees in the postseason. They own us so much, it's as if they're getting away from the 13th Amendment.
I'm a Red Sox fan, so
Oh,
so
no.
my
Oh,
hatred
no.
of the Yankees, is literally eternal.
So
You were born and bred by it. Like Bane with a mask.
But unfortunately, since 2004, the Red Sox essentially became Yankees Junior. So
I commend the Yankees for having impeccable athletes, but of course I'm hoping that the Atlanta Braves, will beat them.
And we're not just saying that because we're paid by Ted Turner to say that.
I am a Baltimore Orioles. I know a thing or three about hating the boys.
Indeed, the Orioles are a great team, but they are not the Atlanta
Oh
Braves.
no, wait a minute. Scott, the outsider's edge. But Eddie no sold. Eddie Guerrero no sold the outsider's edge.
Oh dear.
Nash with a pendulum. Sidewalk slam. Nothing.
Water wheel jump by Jericho. What the world?
Jericho and Nash are both looking spent.
And into the knee goes Kevin Nash.
He went janky for a second.
It looks like Eddie Guerrero is hurt. Nash. Stiff.
Nash, Jericho, and Guerrero are all hurt. I think Hall's the only guy who's still somewhat fresh.
Fresh with a PH. And if you don't like that lingo, well, it's 1999, so you're just gonna have to deal.
Yeah. Just like fat with PH. We don't know what it means, we just say it. Sometimes it really does feel like people make up words in hopes to make us dumber. And for some reason, I blame the New York Yankees for this.
Fall-away slam by Scott Hall.
How you believe it?
Guerrero in. Why not?
Well, I'm from the future, and as far as dumb words go, it's only gonna get dumber from here, boys.
Back goes Eddie.
Jericho
Back
picking up
by
Nash
Jericho.
backbreaker.
to worry that
Scott.
I'm starting to worry that there's no referee.
Oh, there he is.
Finally!
That referee's just here eating a bag of popcorn while watching, apparently. Won't be the first time we've had someone do that.
Knee crusher.
Some.
Oh gosh, the knee crusher, the most dangerous crusher around.
Lariat by Kevin Nash.
Everyone hurt.
Oh
no.
Heel kick.
That's gotta hurt. But Guerrero seems to pop up surprisingly quick.
Works the knee again, does Guerrero.
These four gentlemen have paired off with their chosen dance partners for the time being.
Kevin Nash dropping that boot straight into Jericho's throat. Bodies flying everywhere in this tag.
Yep, the outsiders are being challenged.
It's not often you see them get a challenge.
Guerrero with a snap
suplex
suplex.
by Eddie Guerrero.
Not often you see an outsider.
Jericho with a German suplex on Scott Hall with impeccable strength.
Not often you see an outsider match go past 5 minutes in tag.
Oh, clutch applied by Scott Hall.
There's a leg whip.
Up
Top
top.
goes Eddie, and he misses by a mile. Scott Hall knocked down. All men are hurt here. Camel clutch by Eddie.
Everybody's hurt as well. So what would you satisfactory?
Kevin Nash with a super. No! Eddie Guerrero hitting a suplex on Nash.
Unbelievable strength being shown by Eddie Guerrero.
Thrust kick.
Oh, look at that, Nash is taking on some clotheslines there. Are they going to double team Kevin Nash here? No. Got hold of this.
Oh, by Eddie Guerrero.
Guerrero.
Body kick by Jericho.
We got reversed on the Irish whip here, and Guerrero takes a flying lesson.
Paul's right Larry here.
Looks like Eddie used some of those frequent flyer miles from the WCW credit card.
Fair play to Eddie.
Intense action.
Yes, fans, call 1-800-955-WCW to apply for your Capital One
WCW hotline caller, you're on the air.
Hey, I recognize those two guys. Isn't that, Razor Ramon and Diesel?
And no, I don't know who you're talking about. We don't know who any of these people are. My gosh, some of these people are a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, wouldn't you say, Voodoo?
Indeed. I do not know of those names.
Body drop.
Whoever they are, they're
Wow,
probably
what a
jokes.
kick from Jericho. Lion Tamer.
And we have someone else here. We got one of our international analysts for WCW, Freddie. Welcome, Freddie.
Stereo backbreaker.
How's your day?
No shoulder. No going with a shoulder attack. Nash just tried to choke out Eddie Guerrero.
Wow, what a takeout by from Jericho over there.
But there will be no choke slams.
Scott Hall with shoulder tackles.
I have walked into complete mayhem.
Hey, welcome. What can you tell us from your scouting trip?
Well, I have
Then to the outside by a big move.
I have nearly lost all my progress that I've made this past few months.
Oh, that ain't good.
But luckily, I managed to find a backup. So
Alright.
I only lost 1 month's worth of progress. Because I had like 50 wrestlers that I had published.
Alright. You're just in time for some WCW impact here. We got the Outsiders against Jericho and Eddie Guerrero. Very 50-50 match. And Nash just killed himself on live Nash. And Eddie killed himself on...
I do
a
not believe
double...
what I am seeing.
Those have got to be the worst suicide dives I've ever seen. With Chono, who did those weird ones, at least he managed to hit Booker T. These guys, the only thing they managed to hit was themselves.
Good.
Both men busting reckless, and they paid for it big time.
Where's my...
I can't believe Nash actually
What's even worse is... This.
Where's my man Roadblock in this?
roadblock. No, we're not doing that. There are no road there. Who is this roadblock?
The only
Okay,
roadblock
okay.
you see is on Saturday night.
Okay, fine, the Gambler.
No,
Saturday night.
That's on a show that we're not doing.
Every single...
It's over.
Kevin
Eddie
Nash with a
Guerrero has been
submission.
choked out by a sleeper, I believe. Let's get a replay.
Okay,
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a sleeper.
That was a sleeper hole.
This was quite the war here between Nash and Hall. This was a fight.
Those big, massive python arms pay
Very
off.
game for the
Yeah, this was definitely a struggle.
this was
I've
not a
never
wrestling match. This
seen-
was a war.
I've never seen such a Pyrrhic victory from the Outsiders.
I think Nash at this point was like, he had to try anything at this point in the game.
Well, at least it worked for him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of Hour 1. Tune in for Hour 2 as we continue the World Title Qualifiers.
Be there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with the World Title Qualifiers to see who will join the 4 others in the World Title Tournament Qualifiers, so we can find out who will face Scott Norton at the Great American Bash. And our tournament qualifying matches are as follows. We have Harry Saturn
We already
taking on
Great American Bash, Team
Steiner.
Bash at the beach.
But you know what I mean.
Okay.
Steiner. Masahiro Chono takes on Chris Benoit. The Giant takes on Scott Steiner. And Finlay will take on Bret Hart in our main event.
How y'all doing?
We have an action hour. Ready at the helm. Be there.
Hey, yes, first, before you ask my noise suppression's on.
I didn't even ask, but okay. Or think of it. I don't know what's going on at the moment. Where am I? How did
Well,
I get here?
We won't be able to suppress the noise of the crowd tonight, as they are fired up for this matchup.
Who tied me down?
What are you talking
What the
about?
Harry.
heck? Someone tied me down to my chair. What the heck?
Okay.
That was Voodoo. He likes tying people to stuff.
Did you
I
have
will
to
not
tie my
stand for-
shoelaces together?
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
I-
We're about to start our first tournament matchup.
I almost said shove.
Oh, here we go.
Well, here we have Saturn, former member of the United States Army, and one impeccable athlete.
Dangerous, man.
And here we have terrifying varsity wrestler and longtime WCW veteran, Rick Steiner.
The dog face grim.
It's like going to be the battle of the suplexes in this match.
Oh yes, both men can toss each other around like sandbags.
For those of you that like
Sweep kick.
I feel that Saturn will have a bit more speed advantage over Rick.
Oh, for sure. All that training in the corpse will pay off, I think. Rick Steiner is no joke either. Accomplished varsity wrestler out of Michigan. And he gets swept to the outside.
Saturn feeling himself right now. Saturn left the ring. The ref is restarting the count.
Snapmare by Rick Steiner.
So, early predictions. Who do you guys got? Who do you guys feel can win these qualifying matches?
Side headlock takeover.
Well, that's going to be tricky. But from today's show, I'm thinking Scott Steiner and Bret Hart could definitely be favorites going on. Giant, though, is always going to be an obstacle no matter the opponent. But if Scott Steiner wins, that's
Count's intensifying here.
advantage.
This is who I think is going to win out of the matches tonight. I think it's going to be Rick Steiner, Chono, Giant, and Hart.
Saturn sends him back inside, and we continue the action.
Giant can be the biggest, potentially be the biggest threat in this tournament. Oh, wait,
Oh boy, roll-up attempt.
Steiner, Chono, Giant, Finlay.
Takes the back to Saturn. And there's a spinning backdrop.
Up elbow.
Indeed, he drops the big elbow. Sweep kick by Saturn. T-bone suplex.
Nice.
Armbar attempt.
trying to neutralize that power.
Man can't throw you if you can't lift it.
Got a point there.
Slam
Yeah,
by
slam.
Saturn. Looks like he's calling for something. Steiner fighting back with some hard shots. Neckbreaker by Saturn.
Oh,
And a Death Valley driver. This could be over quickly.
but no, Rick Steiner's getting back up to his feet. Oh, wait a minute. He's going up top.
Hits a flying lariat.
To the back of his head.
Steiner showing incredible resilience here. As he takes the back. Switches to a front tie-up.
Oh, I think Rick had some evil intentions in the corner. But yeah, Saturn was able to prevent that.
Saturn sends Steiner right.
Steiner misses a dog.
Springboard nothing.
Saturn horribly misses the springboard back elbow.
Sometimes it's not best to jump the gun. But Rick Steiner's still very much in trouble. And a front suplex.
He's so in trouble, it's not even funny.
They're dominating the match so far.
Rick Steiner's singlet says bite me, but I think he's bitten off more than he can chew.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Hey!
Yeah, can you even bite a man who masters the very rings of Saturn itself?
Look at those kicks.
Sweep kick by Saturn.
Oh, he's got him
Saturn
here.
ties him up.
There's a
turns
front
him for the
grapple.
ride.
Up and over.
Overhead.
He just watches him like he's nothing. Like he's a big
Rick
old
Steiner needs to
potato.
do something here.
It's a small potato.
That snapmare had little to no effect, but he's got to keep the
Steiner,
offensive. There's a slam jam.
Slam.
Saturn with a side headlock takeover.
Aaron calling for something.
Saturn ties him up, sends him for the ride.
Into the ropes.
And this time he lands the back elbow.
This time.
Oh wait, what is Saturn gonna go for here? Irish whip.
And up and over again. 2 times the charm.
Rick Saturn's a pretty big my mistake. Rick Steiner's a guy about 270, 280, and he is getting tossed around quite easily.
Are you surprised that Rick has not been able to do a lot of tossing? That it's Perry Saturn who's doing most of the tossing?
3rd time's
Oh,
the charm.
No, I'm not. I am not really surprised at Saturn's ability to perform such feats of...
I just
He was a
like,
ranger, after all.
I just like watching wrestling with plenty of large throws in it.
And there's an atomic drop.
He took a drop.
Another sweep. He's getting wise to the sweeps.
No good. Stalling suplex.
Rick trying to fight back here. Oh, wait a minute.
T-bone again.
Elbow drop. There's a roll-up attempt and a rope break.
Saturn's got
Welcome to the
turn
ropes.
this around here. Oh, I don't know what Rick was trying to go for there, but oh, that got countered too.
Saturn sent to the outside.
Throwing Saturn out the rope, out the ring.
And Rick needs a minute.
Probably nothing for Saturn because he jumped out of perfectly good airplanes while he was in the army.
Into the ring they go.
Sweep block. Block turn. Big standing
Steiner just throwing himself into Saturn and bringing him down.
Whip kick by Saturn. How badly damaged are Steiner's legs now?
Very.
This is a good idea.
Very.
Cross knee breaker.
Genius.
He has got it cranked in deep.
In the future, we call that a rolling knee bar, but whatever.
Rick is getting hit by that sweep.
Saturn doing some sort of weird interpretive dance.
Big shot by Rick Steiner. There's a spinning neck breaker.
Swinging neck breaker.
Steiner rolls through to absolute no.
Steiner with an elbow to the back of Steiner's head.
Rick's like, get out of here.
Rick counters whatever Saturn was attempting. I think he was going for that cross knee breaker again.
Might have.
Sweep kick.
Sweep sends him over the top rope.
Steiner's legs have to be damaged here.
Headbutt.
But
Headbutting a dude in wrestling gear is not a smart idea. Wrestling headgear, excuse me.
He's like, look, man, your head looks really,
especially the hard plastic here.
your head looks really captivating. I had to headbutt it.
There's a slam jam by Rick Steiner.
Yeah, but like Mr. Andrew,
Again, working on the leg.
like Mr. Andrew just said, wrestling headgear is made of hard plastic. Headbutting that stuff is not advisable.
At least the type of headgear he's wearing, the type of headgear I used to wear was
And a Death Valley driver of his own. Saturn might be out. He might not be able to answer the counter here.
18. Is this how Rick is really going to advance?
It looks that way. He just took a Death Valley driver straight onto the mat outside below.
Steiner's gonna win by countout.
Wow.
Well, Saturn was twitching. I think he might have been knocked out.
Saturn has been
for
sent to the
20
dog
count.
pile by Rick Steiner. And your winner, moving onwards, Rick Steiner.
I figured he put him down for 20 counts, so.
Alright, up next is Chono versus Crazy Beniot.
This should be an interesting bout here. Chono, well, we all saw what he did with Booker T. Hopefully he doesn't try to do that again here tonight.
Chono in here, he's trying to make sure that the title stays in the hands of NWO Typhoon.
I can say right now that both fighters have absolutely no regard for their own safety. And it's just a matter of time before one of these guys hurts themselves badly trying to take the other out.
This is going to be a fight, I'll tell you that much.
For sure, JM.
These two
For
men do have history.
You know, up until his entrance music just started, I forgot Benoit was a member of the Horsemen.
Alright, here we go.
Benoit ties him up. Big shot to the chest.
Across the chest of Chono.
There's a side.
Going into the crossface already.
Crossface early.
But I would not recommend chopping somebody trained in pro wrestling. Japanese fellas can take chops like nobody's business.
And apparently,
Big chop.
driving neck first into barricades twice in one match.
There's the arm breaker.
And again, if you're chopping anyone, Chono's probably the best person, is probably the best target to go for because he's always hurt.
Stiff elbow by Benoit.
Putting it down, the crossface versus the butterfly lock.
Oh, try to go for a low blow.
Big chop. Again with a crossface attempt.
Benoit trying to end this early.
Already Chono's slow to get up. As I said, Chono's almost always hurt, so how bad is he coming into this match?
Either that or Benoit going to the crossface early means he's nervous.
Slam jam countered into a small package.
Look, man, we know Chono's a very crafty fella. He can go to war. We saw him go to war.
Big overhand by Chono.
Misses the Enziguri.
Chono hooks him up, sends him for the ride.
Misses the wheel kick.
Okay, shot
Again
block.
for the crossface.
Crossface.
Benoit is all over him with these submissions.
Welcome, Skittles.
What up, bitch?
Man, I'm going for the... Oh, wait. Right to the eyes.
Here in WCW, it's as legal as a headlock.
That who will be joining Rick Steiner.
Masahiro Chono throwing Benoit out the ring.
Chono opts to join Benoit in the street, but Benoit was like, no thank you.
Yeah, Benoit wise to not play that game with Chono here.
Stomp by Chono. Rather. Both men can strike incredibly hard.
Oh no, not again.
Another crossface.
Benoit is really looking to put this one away. And with Chono as reckless as he is, I do not blame him.
I'm telling you, Benoit is incredibly nervous about Chono.
I would be too. Did you not see what Chono did last time? But nonetheless, he's looking to put Chono away here. Hard chop to the back.
Headbutt.
Stiff
To the
head.
back of the head.
Oof. Oof, that headbutt was nasty.
Oh, the headbutt block.
Headbutt again.
Headbutt block.
Dragon screw.
Dragon screw.
Benoit going up top.
Benoit going to the higher end district.
Flying
Big
cross
cross
body.
Wow, literally in control.
There's a cover. Chono is in danger here. He needs to get his bearings back together.
Already Benoit getting a 2 count on Chono.
That's
3 minutes and we're
one
building
way to
Bret
do
into
it.
the match.
That's right, in WCW, you can get hit so hard, you'll scream like a girl.
Chono's trying to slow it down, and that ain't happening.
And Benoit's like, no thank you.
Benoit all over him.
Benoit needs to stay on Chono. Chono's given any time, he can just hit a Yakuza kick and it's quickly turned around.
Chono is badly hurt here.
Irish whip setting up for the ride. Oh, wow.
Chono has managed very little offense. German suplex. And another. Benoit looking for the end here. He's signaling for something big.
Fisherman suplex, but too close to the ropes.
Benoit is fired up, and Masahiro Chono has failed to land any sort of significant offense.
Benoit throwing a couple chops.
Yakuza kick. I was just trading that.
Dragon screw by Benoit. Looks like he's going to work the leg now.
Chono again slow to get back up.
Slam jam by...
Kick.
Big kick by Chono.
Thank you, guys. Try to get up close and personal.
Takes the back.
And that just wasn't gonna happen. Headbutt.
Chono down. Oh! Shot like that'll have you screaming like a girl.
Another right to the eyes.
Snapmare by Chono.
Chono's like, what do I do here?
Chops by Benoit. There's another snapmare. Benoit quick to get up though.
It's like, my God, what do I do here? He's throwing strikes, any strike that will work on Chris. Uh-oh.
There's a crossface, but too close to the ropes.
And every time it happens, he tries his best to try to get to the ropes.
Oh, low blow!
And a Yakuza kick.
went for a flying shoulder tackle.
He believed he could fly, but he unfortunately could not touch the sky. Running bulldog. Oh, wait a minute. Butterfly lock. Butterfly lock.
Benoit reaches the ropes, however.
Benoit is slow to get up.
He's like, now, Benoit, the tables have turned.
There's an enziguri. Woman looking on, and may I say she is looking gorgeous. Cross.
At some point, Benoit's gonna hit the crossface and Chono's gonna be screaming.
There's another crossface.
Yeah, Benoit's just gonna, like, look, brother, I'm gonna catch you if you ever tell monkey flip. And he sent him flying. Cover.
There's a cover.
Only a 2 count.
Very close.
A very close 2 count.
Vertical suplex. Masahiro Chono resorting to some dirty tricks.
Yeah, just shoving his fingers into the eyeballs. Elbow to the back of the head.
Back.
Chono's still in this. I'm actually surprised.
Elbow. There's a big drop kick.
To the knees.
Benoit on fire.
Works every time. And Chono's like, nah, brother. He's like, are you sure about that?
Abdominal stretch. Nice positioning too. Big chop by Chono.
It's quite the situation here.
Drop kick lands.
Well, that right to the eye.
Chono looking to cheat here.
Look, man, you can't blame him.
Benoit has been all over him like a pit bull, so no, I can't.
Chono's gonna do whatever it takes. Benoit's also gonna do whatever it takes to win here. He's got him in perfect position here. Fisherman suplex. No, the long legs of Chono got to the ropes. The legs being a big factor in this match.
Their drop kick to the knee.
Just trying to make things harder for him. Oh, wait a minute. Wow.
To the top rope.
You idiot!
And he gets tossed right off.
He's like, you fool, you played right into my hands.
Big shot by Chono. Stiff shot by Chono.
Oh, caught that. Dragon screw again.
Dragon screw.
Yeah, Chono having a much more difficult time than against Booker T. Cover.
Will it be enough to stop him?
No.
Chono still has some fight left in him.
Chono ain't going down without a fight.
Stiff shot by Chono. Takes the back, does Benoit. Stiff shot to the spine.
And this has been quite the battle here. Something's got to give.
Benoit kicks him away. Was Chono looking for an STF there, maybe?
He
There's
might
a
have.
cover.
Cover. That might be all Chono needed, maybe. No.
Chono slow to get up. Chop by
And
Benoit.
again,
Block.
getting countered by Benoit.
Benoit's technical game is on point here.
Benoit's got
Low
those,
blow again.
Benoit's got those Yakuza kicks scouting.
Inverted atomic drop. Cover.
Could that be enough for the Manhattan drop being the neutralizer? No.
Only 2.
Apologies, boys. I got called away to gorilla position.
Very good. Oh, got caught again? No.
Enziguri. And there's a rope break.
Things have not been going Chono's way, Zach.
I could see. I was watching the match from Gorilla.
Oh, he might have bad ring positioning again.
Fisherman suplex.
And those long legs of Masahiro Chono save him. You gotta make Voodoo, those long legs have been saving Chono.
Leapfrog by Benoit. Shoulder tackle.
Oh, wait, what's Benoit doing? He's going up the top rope. Is he gonna go for that crossbody? No, Chono caught it.
Very.
Chono's like, that don't work for me, brother.
Crippler crossface. And a rope break. Both men have been laying into each other, but Benoit, I think, seems to have the better game plan here. Go as hard as possible, and take Chono out before he can do any real damage. Uh-oh, looks like a high-risk maneuver attempt from Chono. There's a knee drop.
Drops the knee.
Oh!
Chono's like, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything. I just gave him a punch.
Chono again to the top.
Chono gonna show off some Daredevil. Whee! Nope.
Benoit swats him away. Takes the back. Backdrop suplex. Will that be it? Masahiro Chono narrowly kicks out. Low blow block.
Dragon screw.
And there's the dragon screw.
Chono really has been having trouble. He's not sure how to handle this. Oh, those long legs are saving Chono again.
Benoit really seems to be showing poor ring awareness when it comes to submissions and big slams.
Dragon screw again.
It's that those long legs of Chono's acting just keep saving him.
You say it's Chono's long legs.
Northern Lights.
You say
There's a rope break.
Chono's long say it's Benoit showing poor ring awareness. Two things can be true at once. Big man
Atomic
has
drop.
dropped by Chono.
Oh man, just add insult to injury.
The headbutt to the nuts. I'm sorry for that remark. Please do not find me. Stiff shot by Benoit. And down he goes to the pin. Still only two. Masahiro Chono, he's fighting quite hard. And dirty, might I add.
Nope, in WCW, all this is legal as a headline. So throw your nerdy little rulebook out the window.
Anyway, a back suplex by Chono, and now he's building up momentum.
Forearm to the back.
Chono down.
Going for he's gonna treat him like a young boy. Nope. There will be
Flips him
no
over.
young boy treatment.
I thought for sure Chono was gonna go into the SDS.
There's a strike by Beniot. Dragon screw again by Benoit. Drops the big elbow.
And you know Chono's feeling it in his neck and his leg.
Consequences, New Mexico.
Oh wait, setting him up for the ride. Could not go for the Yakuza. Got immediately stopped.
Fighters are slugging it out here. There's a crossface. Again.
Again, poor ring awareness. Big stalling suplex by Chono.
Oh wait a minute.
And a
Crossface.
crossface.
And he got him. Chris Benoit advances to the tournament.
His non-stop method of attacking paid off here.
Man, Chono is having a hard time, man. He tried to use those long legs, but just couldn't. His body just couldn't take the pain anymore.
And Chris Benoit moves on.
I have just received a note that states JM has bought WCW from Turner.
Where have you been?
That was the note I got from Gorilla Position.
Alright guys, we got an interesting one coming up here. We have the Giant. 550 pounds, 7'4". Taking on Scott Steiner in our semi-main event.
Steiner, otherwise known as the master of the unintelligible promo.
Big guy takes on bigger guy.
I have no idea how this is going to play out here. Giant, very powerful. And he's the Giant. Well. But when you know when Scott Steiner's coming down to the ring, you know things are going to get, it's not going to be pretty.
Every time he opens his mouth, we end up getting fined. And he's flanked by his beautiful valet, Medeja.
No, we don't. We bought this from Turner, remember? We broadcast on our own network.
Alright, so here we go. The Giant, Scott Steiner.
Oh!
And there's an enziguri by Steiner.
And look,
For as massively muscular as he is.
The Giant is rocked already.
For as massively muscular as he is, I'm surprised he's able to form that much agility.
Body shot by Steiner.
Oh.
Big kick
Oh
by the
my
Giant.
God.
Steiner bleeding already.
Steiner bleeding from a giant Yakuza kick.
There's a backbreaker. Oh. Let's take a look. Oh, yes. Steiner is bleeding quite badly.
From a giant Yakuza kick, Voodoo.
The Giant came to play. He has his game face on.
And now Steiner's rocked. I don't think Steiner expected that.
That was a holy ATW hockey sticks moment for Scott Steiner.
Yeah, this is not going to be... This is going to get ugly.
There's a trip.
Don't expect a technical masterpiece here. Scott's in for a fight right now. Oh my God!
Knee pat by the Giant.
Low blow block.
Can Scott even lift this man? We're a fight out right now. Oh, he slammed him.
Oh my
Incredible
God.
strength by Big Papa Pump.
But the Giant pops right back up.
Stiff headbutt by the
Oh my
Giant.
God, is he about to run up the top rope? Oh, God help us.
Low blow blocked.
Oh Lord help us all. I don't think the ring crew reinforced the ring.
Takes the back end. Stiff shot to the spine. Big kick by Scott Steiner.
Giant sends him
Giant
to the
sending him
ride.
to the corner.
Into the corner.
This is all bad. Say
Fair
again,
enough.
all bad.
Scott is in for some competition here.
Scott
Big
Steiner
kick.
appears to be having the absolute fight of his life.
The question is, will he join Rick in the tournament?
Big
Again,
kick
that-
by the
yeah,
Giant.
Again, that giant Yakuza kick.
You can bet those kicks are only making that cut worse.
And for Steiner, it ain't a Yakuza kick for Steiner. It's a big Papa kick.
Bro, my phone just vibrated on my balls, bro. That shit felt
Against the ropes.
The hell? Oh no! Oh no! The
Big choke
show's
slam!
over! God!
We might be out of here.
Steiner's down.
No, the rope.
Luckily, he is saved by the ropes.
The rope saved Steiner.
Steiner.
Steiner in so much trouble, it is not even funny. He has barely gotten one offensive. He's barely got any offense on the Giant.
There's a big kick.
And he's
Sends him to
trying.
the outside on the
Steiner's
apron.
still in this. That man is bleeding.
Profusely.
Yep. Even his muscles are bleeding.
Steiner still charges ahead.
His biceps are bleeding. Don't
Big
ask me how.
atomic drop.
Don't ask me how. They're just bleeding.
And a knee crusher. Steiner resorts to some very Steinery tactics here. Into the turnbuckle. And big backdrop by Scott Steiner.
Good God.
Takes the back. Switches to a front tie-up. Takes the back once more. Big clubbing blow to the back of the head.
Oh, the rope saved him.
There's a German suplex. Big Hurricane Rana.
Oh, wow. Right to the face. And again. Slap. Steiner, whatever he
There's the slap.
The fact that that man can do an insecurity is very scary.
Elbow.
Like, Voodoo, how do you deal with this situation here? What does Steiner have to do here?
He has to keep mounting some offense. He's got the strength to pull it off. Jawbreaker by Scott Steiner. Flex is the muscle.
Oh, wait a minute.
It looks like he's attempting a Steiner
God,
screwdriver.
Oh my God.
Down on his head.
Steiner screwdriver and the giant will that be Oh, that's it. All that weight on the giant's head.
Big Papa Pump survives the onslaught and drops the giant like a sack of hammers.
We gotta see that again. That is the damnedest thing I have seen so far. He lifted up the giant in all his strength and dropped him with the screwdriver. Zach, what do you think of that?
That is the most holy shit inducing move I've seen in this new era on WCW. This new era of WCW live on the WCW network at WCW.com.
Yeah, we gotta see that again here. This is amazing. Mel, what do you think of this?
What the fuck you asked me for?
Well, what do you think of Scott Steiner giving this man the screwdriver? He lifted up the giant. 550 pounds.
Look at here. Put him on his head.
Yes.
And here we see a replay of this incredible Steiner screwdriver.
7'4". All that
That's
weight
adorable.
just dropping right on his head.
Listen, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy watching hentai and stroking my.
All right, you should. All right, whatever. Get out of here.
No comment.
Yeah. Remember, all the good stuff's not coming until the end of the month. All right, time for the main event, guys. Our final tournament match, and we'll have everyone ready for this 8-man tournament.
Big Finlay versus Bret Hart. You want Finlay, JM?
I know that's what Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the main event, our final tournament match, as Bret Hart takes on Finlay. This is going to be a very interesting first-time match here.
And here we have the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Bret Hart.
Well, I know who Zach is going for in this match.
Of course.
And here we have one of the hardest brawlers in all of wrestling, Big Finlay.
Ah, damn, they don't have his actual entrance. God.
We'll call this one an international incident, as Canada takes on Northern Ireland.
Yep, Both men are technicians, though Finlay likes to prefer the roughhouse.
Bret can scrap as well, but you are correct. Onto the apron.
Scrapping with an Irishman, especially an angry northerner, is not ideal.
Backdrop by Bret Hart. But you know what they say about Canadians, Zach. They love their hockey. I'm pretty sure they can brawl like hockey players.
It's hockey night somewhere in Canada.
Alright, Bret bringing them back in the ring here.
Hart sends Finlay back in the ring. Stiff shot by Bret, showing off his prowess. But Finlay fires back. Hart on the offensive now with a technical move. Drops the big elbow.
Falling lariat blocked. Bret takes the back.
Running Bulldog.
And you know that Bret has been trying to get an opportunity at this title for quite a while now.
Vicious headbutt by Bret. Both fighters going all out. Bret Hart more so right now.
Bret Hart kicking Finlay's leg out of his leg.
Finally, we got him to break.
Back. Alright, here we go. Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter by Bret Hart.
Feeling tired, so I took a nap.
Yeah, while we're calling this action. You know what you missed?
What did I miss?
You missed Scott Steiner giving the Giant a Steiner screwdriver.
You missed the damnedest thing in the new era of the WCW, live from WCW.com, as we are no longer owned by Turner. You don't have to worry about censoring yourself.
Well.
That's something. What other results did I miss?
Benoit defeated Chono.
Okay.
And now we are at the main event as Finlay takes on Bret Hart.
Nice tic-tac into a calf crusher by Finlay.
Both fighters trade. Finlay with 3 unanswered shots. And a slam jam.
Yes.
Drops the big elbow.
Did you like what I sent you?
Side headlock takeover.
No, not really.
I feel you. Are you awake now?
Stiff shot by Bret Hart.
Probably.
No, tries to go for the clothesline, misses.
Maybe I'll fight you and go back to bed or something.
There's a slam jam.
Bret's like,
Throw some hands
that's
down.
right, it's going to be me winning this tournament.
Drops the big one. It looks like that one hit low.
Yeah, Bret Hart feeling himself right now. He's guaranteed uppercut by Finlay.
Finlay
It's
getting
like,
into
this is how
a
we do it in joint promotions. He's
big
like,
shot.
He's like, screw Stampede. It's all about that world of sport.
There's a kick to the leg.
Kicking his leg out of his leg.
I know the exact promo you're referencing, JM. Good job.
Stiff uppercut.
Keep up the good work, bud.
Man, Finlay's like, this is easy work.
Hart stunned. Low blow. Drop kick by Bret Hart.
Finlay managed
Finlay's got him here.
Oh!
lariat.
Hart down.
He calls that the show lariat. But up.
And another low blow.
I like how nobody sold my joke. Fuck
I didn't even hear it.
Kick to the head.
I didn't even think that was funny. You were telling a joke?
Well, no time for fun and games for either man right here, as they are clearly trying to win.
Oh, wait a minute. Snake eyes.
Straight into the rope. Reminiscent of stunning Steve Austin's stun gun, even.
Like,
Apparently missed a couple matches.
Finlay's like, what's good?
Tombstone pile driver. There's a cover.
1,
2.
only got 2.
Oh.
Hart kicks out.
Almost had him there. You almost had him.
There's a low blow.
Alright, I'm gonna put a piss off on my face. It's gonna be fun.
Your mother's calling you.
Stiff uppercut by Finlay. Hart kicks out again.
No blow block again.
Oh, for how long though?
Finlay ties him up. Sends him for the ride.
Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Not often you see that.
Yep, Finlay in control. Every time Bret has an opportunity, he has bad luck.
There's a backbreaker.
His claim of being the excellence of execution is really being tested here.
Landers.
Start off that Bret is taking on a bruiser.
Landers. Look what I tagged you in.
Dude, I got no time for your nonsense right now. Sleep
Not
hold.
you.
There's a sleeper hold.
I'm talking to Landrews, not you.
That's horrible.
Oh, both were going for the same thing, but Bret was a little bit faster. Oh, wow. Standing wrist lock here.
Bret Hart showing off his technical prowess.
Yep. Yeah, do more than that though.
Ropes.
Into the ropes.
Sends Finlay for the ride. Puts on the brakes. Gets a Yuri by Finlay.
Finlay with a little bit of a stalking Bigfoot pose. Blocks the low blow. There's a kick. There's a chop.
Oh, wait, Finlay. Trying to go for a back elbow. Business. And Finlay
Hard elusive, but not for long.
Like you activated my trap card.
Do the fucking dishes, Landrews.
Damn, people need some noise suppression on.
Hey, yo, leave my boy alone, of course.
Well,
No,
let's see who can suppress the other and gain
That's
this
my
victory.
child, leave him alone.
no.
That's my fucking child, leave him alone, course.
Running neck breaker drop.
Run. What Jam said.
Oh, he's doing a little hunt with that.
Hart getting hyped here. Stiff shot by Bret Hart.
Running neck breaker drop again.
Hart working out the kinks.
What king? Who want for me to again?
Sharpshooter.
Got him in the middle of the ring.
Close to the center.
Finlay's getting there. He got there.
His knee hits the ropes, thankfully. But I wonder how much pain he's in.
A lot. I can imagine. Look at his leg. He's been kicked
Finlay
so
is
hard with his
limping.
leg that
There's a drop kick.
His speed slowed down significantly.
As you said, he kicked Finlay's leg straight out of his leg.
Tree of woe. Oh, man.
Oh,
Right in
what
the
a stiff
sternum.
shot.
That's that Falcon, but that's that abortion clutch.
Devastating up kick to the head. And there's a running bulldog. I wonder if Hart is worse for wear because he doesn't seem like it just yet. Suplex to the inside.
Suplex to the inside.
See?
I think Bret might have him here.
Another
And again with the sharpshooter.
He's right by the
I think he might
ropes.
reach
He's not
the ropes from that
And
distance.
he got him.
No, he
He
does
got
not.
Oh,
Just
He
enough.
tapped.
Finlay was close to getting to the rope, but he could not reach it in time.
And someone has to pick up the call from the WCW hotline.
Now, for real, you gotta turn on your fucking voice suppression.
Listen up, bullshit. That wasn't me this time.
Yeah, but it keeps happening. That phone call keeps going through for the past 2 weeks.
Well, I imagine Finlay's legs will be ringing after this match.
Yep, and Bret finally will get this tournament. But the real fight is gonna be when we find out who's facing who in the tournament when we shuffle the names together.
Oh yeah.
So,
And it looks to be interesting.
Yeah, so to run down who is in this tournament officially now, it is Scott Hall, Steven Regal, Hollywood Hogan, Buff Bagwell, Rick Steiner, Chris Benoit, Scott Steiner, and now Bret Hart. We got a big we got a big mishmash of people. Who will get through this tournament? Who will face Scott Norton at Bash at the Beach next month? Tune in next week.